The Iracing test track in Germany is a test track for Volkswagen, and it is approximately 12 miles long. It is the largest oval in the world. Take a look at another one here, the Autodromo at Ciudad de Rafaela in Argentina, 2.83 miles long. But the largest oval that NASCAR boasts is right here, the Talladega Superspeedway, 2.66 miles long. It's a beast. It's got a ton of banking, 33 degrees in the corners. It doesn't seem like really that much when you're in the car, but if you ever seen any kind of videos of people trying to walk up the track, it's insane. And it keeps these cars planted, and it makes for some great racing. Certainly go 3 wide here. We've seen 4 wide, and at times coming to the line to the finish, we've seen about 6 or 7 wide. But it's going to be a fun one here tonight for the Virtual Velocity Racing Series, ARCA Series. And we are here on CRN. Carl Hammer joined the booth by Jimmy Cover. Jimmy, we're back here at Talladega. It was a fun one on Tuesday night with the Core Xfinity Series. We're back for a little more super speedway action here tonight.
Yeah, this time being in the ARCA cars. I think the last time we'll probably see the league run them unless they want to do a legacy run. They started with these legacy, now what they call the legacy ARCA car, and they're going to finish the season out before they make any changes here at VVR for the season. So no sense of switching things up. Well, they're almost about halfway through when the new car came out. So. But we got plenty of racing still left for the season, and right now, obviously, kind of like a mile marker here with the Talladega, obviously being one of the largest tracks, one of the fastest tracks, and drafting is a thing. So it's close quarters, high banking, and plenty of action here. It looks like we're up to a close. Let's see, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 30 drivers out here tonight that have the possibility of winning. So about 30 seconds remaining. And right now, Dalton Kilroe is on top of the leaderboard there with a 53.403. So maybe looking to start out front here tonight instead of working their way through the field, not having much luck back there. So maybe starting out front would be a little bit better. We'll see. But it's going to be a good one here at Talladega. Looking forward to it. And hope everybody is... It's brought some interesting beverages and popcorn because it's 80 laps. It's a long time.
Yeah, strap in. It's hopefully going to be a good one here tonight. We do have the updated standings here for the series, and you can take a quick little rundown. I just want to make sure we are up to date here. Yeah, this is after Bristol, so we are now in the month of May, and we got some good ones here in the month of May. But top of the boards for the driver standings, Robert Warnes is leading by a whole 1 point over Andrew Pileshi in second. Only 8 more points back to Dalton Kilroe in third place, as he's seen a bit of a resurgence, got a couple wins now on the season after a bit of a dry spell to start. Maxwell Caldwell, Mike Casey for your top 5 in the driver standings. But we are all finished with qualifying. Jimmy, why don't you give us that nice little rundown before we start this race?
A quick little rundown of tonight's starting order, and obviously you can come from the back and win here, so it's not a huge deal, but it could be worth a point or two during the season here for some of these drivers. So Dalton Kilroe on the pole here tonight with John Garrett alongside. Row number 2 is going to be Todd Merkel and Rick Thompson. Row number 3, DJ Mitchell and Tim Lee. Row number 4, Ty Marasco and Mike Taylor. And then row number 5 would be Tyler Hilton with Derek Paulson. Gordon Larson and Mike Hasey make up row number 6. Row number 7 is going to be Eric Blount, Hilton Young, Andrew Pileshi and Maxwell Caldwell. And row number 8, Kay Green and Robert Kahn back there in row number 9. And then back for the rest of the field, you have Chris Schuessler and Mike Radout to make up row number 10. Row number 11, Brandon Meir and Hemi Garridini. Hayden Wheeler and Robert Warnes back there in row number 12. Row number 13 going to be Dennis Warnes and Michael Pratt. Brian Rainville and Fred Thompson back there in row number 14. And row number 15, the last and final row of the field, is going to be Len McNeese and Michael Dan. And you can see there on the screen that 7 drivers have not put in a time. They're just elected to start in the back. So we're going to be looking for those drivers to march their way through the field. It's a little bit different here with the ARCA car. They do draft, but you got to watch the rear bumper and the front bumper don't match up very well, as well as some of the other cars on the Iracing service. So welcome race fans, and looking forward to a good one here.
Well, certainly a little bit different than last week out, as we were at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and pretty much the exact opposite at Talladega. I think the only thing they got in common is they got some nice banking in the corners, but short of that, there's really nothing that you can say that is the same. I mean, Bristol, you got the concrete half mile. Here at Talladega, big old 2.66 super speedway tri-oval, and you see the unique thing right there about Talladega compared to Daytona, and really just about every other oval track, is that the start finish line is past the tri-oval. It is after you get out of the tri-oval, just at the end of pit lane there, and we've seen that right there be the cause of some passing, some late minute passing. So then that's where you see the 3, 4, 5 wide, because people build up that momentum coming off of turns 3 and 4, go down through the tri-oval, still have a little bit of time before you can actually get to the line. I mean, you look at some other tracks with some quote unquote weird places for their start finish line. Richmond is kind of not exactly on center on the tri-oval there. You look at Phoenix, it's whatever turns you want to name them at this point. With the redesign, I guess it's out of turn 3 and 4, whatever. But it's kind of in the middle of a little short shoot there, so just a little bit funky, and that's what Talladega boasts here tonight. But good sized field out here, 30 drivers set to take the green flag. Looks like we may have 29 of them out there. Hilton Young still in pit lane, not sure what the situation is there. Looks like Robert Kahn catching up to the field, but we're going to get ready for 80 laps of hopefully green flag racing. But it's Talladega, and the big one is always right around the corner. It doesn't matter if the drivers out there are skilled drivers, if they're new to iRacing, it will catch everybody. It doesn't matter. There is no favorites when it comes to the big one here at Talladega, and never know, could see more than one. But pace car is in. We're getting ready to send these drivers off as they'll head through the tri-oval. It's going to be Dalton Kilrow, John Garrett on the front row, waiting for Barney to drop the first green flag of the night here. And we are racing at Talladega.
Way to go. And it takes a little while for these cars to warm up, but you can see them all pretty packed up here early on as they're too wide, and somebody's coming out of the pits, so he's got a few laps to wind up, but going to be in deep trouble here as the 38 of Hilton Young is going to be it's a long night until that caution happens.
Yeah, and it's fine starting from the pits. You can stay in the back and avoid issues and things like that, but you don't have any draft, and if you got nobody else to start in the pits with you, you're going to be a sitting duck. And if this thing goes green, you're obviously going to be the first one that goes a lap down. But if a caution does come out, I guess you're right there in position for the lucky dog. So I don't know, to each his own, but I wouldn't mind either not qualifying or qualifying and then dropping out of the apron on the backstretch there, dropping to the back. But Dalton Kilrow doesn't want any part of that. He wants to be up front. He qualified on the pole. He's looking for his third win on the season. And now jumping to the top lane here all by himself. Maybe gonna fall to the back the hard way here and go all the way to that top lane. And maybe, I mean, it's a way to do it, Jimmy, but that's a sketchy way to do it, to drop into the back all the way at the top.
I mean, he was on the he was on the bottom. I don't know why he didn't go around the corner, and they usually go down the back stretch, but she's gonna go to the high side there and just kind of let people drive by, and probably comfortable with the car. These cars, when you get in dirty air, they tend to push a little bit through the corners, so they want to push up, and they'll push a half a car to a car if you're not careful. So people drafting and whatnot, they got to lift just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. You save fuel anyway, so the less a throttle input you can put. So in iRacing, you usually used to be able to it didn't matter, just you could short shift and save a ton of fuel. These days now you have to, it's all about that throttle position. So it doesn't matter what gear you're in, 10% of the throttle, you're still using whatever amount of gas. 10% is, so if it doesn't matter if you're in 6th gear and it's taking forever to wind up and your foot is pegged, you're using maximum amount of fuel. And it could take you, a couple seconds to max out that gear in 6th gear. Well, in front of the road cars, these cars only have 4, but so it's all about throttle position anyways here. So And a lot of drivers out there might be trying to save fuel. We've seen, races in the past where, it benefited them and they were able to stay out longer, catch a caution, blah, blah, blah. But this isn't a short track. This is a super speedway. So you can make a mistake and recover, obviously, because it takes so long for the cars to get around here in Lappy. You can see the 38 car about half of track behind right now. He's got probably about 5 to 10 laps before that the massive pack catches up to the 38. So we'll see these cars probably catch up to the number 38 of Hilton Young shortly, as long as they stay under green. I'm sure he's hoping for a caution so things will go his way and get back to the back of the pack as he came out of the pits. But here we are, 2 wide. Todd Merkel up front in that yellow number 2, followed by Derek Paulson and DJ Mitchell for your top 3. Ty Marasco, John Garrett, Rick Thompson, Tim Lee, Michael Taylor, Cade Green, and Hayden Wheeler for your top 10 so far.
Yeah, so we'll be seeing on Tuesday night with the Talladega race for the Core Xfinity Series. We've seen the Xfinity cars out there, and they're pretty planted to the track, and it's kind of why I mentioned it, because I know we're going to be right back here at Talladega with the ARCA cars, and you see these cars kind of dancing around a little bit more. They're not exactly just stuck and planted to their lines. You see these drivers kind of having to work it a little bit. The cars kind of feel the bounces, feel the contours of the track a little bit more. It's just an older style type of car here, and I think it's just maybe some older technology, and you feel every bit of it. Unfortunately, it takes a little bit more of a driver that's ready to make those quick minute or quick second decisions to make sure you're keeping yourself in line, especially when you're out there going 2-3 wide like these drivers are right now. But so far so good. On lap number 6 here, it is Derek Paulson to the front of the field. Todd Merkel, John Garrett, DJ Mitchell, and Ty Marasco for the top 5. Len McNeese already up 23 spots up to 6th place. So see that 84 up there in the Western Union, or Western Auto, up into to 6th place already. Michael Pratt up 18 spots as well. Certainly, this is definitely way too early for Michael Pratt to be up there, but just test the waters. And this is one track that you mentioned, Jimmy. You don't need to qualify at all, really. I mean, you could start dead last in a 5-lap race, and you still have a chance.
Your biggest friend here is fuel. Obviously, the more fuel you could save, the less time you can spend in the pits, and you can make some passes there, or be able to hang with a group of people that maybe you come down the pit with. Because if you're by yourself, you're in trouble. I mean, we see the black Skittle up there, the number 38, just kind of hoping something happens. But right now, these drivers have a good start going here right now. We're on lap 7 of 80, so good ways to go here. But I believe green flag run here. I think they can make it almost 40 laps. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I was kind of in the car testing just a little bit, setting up cameras, and it's obviously a lot slower when you're by yourself. So it just felt like I was driving down the Autobahn. So.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you're out there in front, like Ty Marasco right now in the lead, it's nice. You got everybody behind you. The only thing you need to worry about is getting a bad bump from the driver right behind you. Otherwise, you're going to miss the wreck if there is a wreck. You got clean air on the front of your car. You don't need to worry about overheating or anything like that. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be using up a lot of fuel, and a lot more fuel than everybody else, especially the driver right behind you, because they can do a little bit of fuel saving and just kind of tuck in behind, get the same speed that you're running at, maybe 95% of the throttle, and that's going to save them that fuel. Now, granted, not really thinking about stretching out on fuel, and if you are stretching out on fuel, Jimmy, you talked about friends. You need friends out here tonight. If there's any place that you need friends, super speedways like Daytona, like Talladega here, you need to have some teammates. You need to have some friends out there that are going to help you. But mainly coming in the pits together, and it's one thing that you mentioned last time. Seeing a group of 10, 15, 20 cars all coming to the pits together under green flag, it's a pretty awesome sight. And when it's choreographed well, it's fun to see. But it can go wrong very, very quickly, and it just takes one wrong move by a driver, one little lockup, and they plow into somebody else. Some people go flying through the grass, and it can happen very quickly. And you need to get everything you can get. You know, just like everywhere else, pit stops absolutely matter, and this is certainly a place where you got to practice pit stops, and you can practice them by yourself, but you're not going to be going quite the speeds that you're going to be going here in the draft. So it's almost better getting out there, feeling how the draft is with somebody else, go around the track a couple times, and then, you know, maybe after a 5-6 lap stint, you come into the pits together, so you can, you know, understand how that driver is going to come down off the track, when they're going to start braking, everything else, so you can get a feel for everything that's going to take place for a pit stop. But I mean, it's everything that you think is going to happen. A lot of times you can just throw it right out the window. The people that you thought you're going to work with, thought you're going to be friends, you probably end up losing them at some point or another during the race, and you have to find some other friends. So it's just it's a constant just chess match. Like I've said before, it's making sure your pieces are in the right spot at the right time to make that final push.
Yeah, and you can see right now, Hilton Young going about 172 miles an hour, and I'll go back to somebody at the field here. They're going on 186 miles an hour. So there's 12 mile an hour, difference in closure rate here between the drivers, and they're coming up now. You see Hilton Young down here, off down to the inside. You'll see the pack of field as they are 3 wide going into turn number 3.
Oh, and he drifts up on the track, and that is going to be a big one here already. Wow. Certainly, I'm sure that's not what he wanted to do. You want to keep it down there on that apron. You went down there for a reason, but went in a corner with just a little bit too much speed. Drifted up on the track, and you seen it live there. Big incident involving quite a few cars here, and quite a few are going to need to get some repairs, because here at Talladega, you can't have anything point in the wrong direction. It is all about speed, and everything has got to be designed correctly here. So fast repairs get flown by real quickly.
Yeah, and Iracing going to catch that as a crash. That's so weird. So we're going to try to go back here. Let's see. That's already happened there.
So you drifted up into the 2 of Todd Merkel is where it started, but certainly collected a lot more along the way. You see right there some damage in the front end of the 2. Tim Lee gets a piece of it. Not sure if the 87 got underneath him or not. The 8 tags him, the 98 in the wall. The 79 gets a piece. The 76 is right there. He gets collected. The 00 just getting underneath. It looked like the 02 was going to be safe, and then just gets sideswiped right there towards the end. But certainly some torn up cars after this one. Going to need some repairs done. And for a lot of them, probably going to need a fast repair as well.
Let's see if I can go on board with somebody that was back there. I say Tim Lee on the nose here. And kind of see how things kind of evolved and how fast it is for these drivers. You can see in this picture right now, we're on top of Tim Lee's car, and you got Tyler Hilton down there on the apron, and I'll just go ahead and hit play. You can see how fast that happens, just like that. There's no time to react. So you trust all the drivers to kind of do the right thing, but obviously getting back to the race, and it looks like Hilton Young's back out on the track. I'm gonna go see it. And who's up front right now? And it looks like Robert Warnes has made his way back to the front, staying out. Everybody else coming in. So I'm gonna go back in.
Not sure if that means he's got no friends, or he just wanted to get out there and lead a lap.
Think he would
cases here, but
I mean, I know there's another Warnes out in the field. You think he'd at least have one?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's got another Warnes. He's got another Robert in the field too. If he wants to even pull that car, well, Robert Kahn's gonna be lining up right alongside of him here for the restart here. But yeah, kind of surprising. 12 laps in here, and electing to stay out. Maybe he's thinking that the caution's going to be caution, so there's going to be another quick one, and then he'll come into the pits. But either way, we're still under caution here. Should be getting the 1 to go next time by. So pit road is going to be closed for Robert Warnes. It's not even a situation where he can come in this time by and go to the back. So this is kind of a bit of a head scratcher. But taking a look back through the field, looks like everybody back out on the track except for Todd Merkel, and looks like he may just be pulling back out on the track now. Hopefully he got as much, if not everything, repaired. It's tough when it's lap 13 already. You got to be smart with the fast repair. You don't want to necessarily waste it early, but you can't lose the field. You know, if you decide to just stay in there, hopefully you can get everything repaired. And I've been a part of so many times where iRacing, you know, says it's a minute worth of repairs. You take that full minute worth of repairs, and it's still not really 100%. So you're kind of taking your chances by not taking the fast repair. As long as you have enough speed to keep up with the field, you're okay. But if not, you're going to be wishing you took that fast repair.
Yeah, and obviously they only get one. I hear VVR, they only get one. So they were when we first started. They had a few races. They didn't have any. You know, so one slip up and you're done for that. And it's always nice. I think it's as competitors in a league, and you know, kind of get that mulligan, you know, because you know it'd be different if everybody out here was like all professionals, and you know everybody was like 10K I rating, and you know it'd be different. I think you know, making sure that you know there is no fast repair, you know, don't mess up. So, but everybody out here, it's a hobby, having fun, trying to enjoy the night, and one mistake shouldn't cost half the field without having a fast repair for at least once. So we can get back out there and give it another try.
It's really kind of to each your own. To, you know, league owners out there, what you want to have. Like, are you looking to have an absolute serious type of series? And if that's the case, then you know you have maybe no fast repairs at all. Maybe you have a set amount of tires that you can take in the pits, and you try and make it kind of as realistic as possible. You mess up one time, and that could be your night. Or, you know, do you want to just have it more relaxed and, you know, kind of laid back atmosphere where maybe you have unlimited fast repairs and you know, just boys have at it basically. But kind of in the middle of the lines here with VVR. Just like Core, going with the one fast repair, you get one redo, and one like you said, Jimmy, one mulligan, and get back out there nice and clean. But again, you hate to use that mulligan on the front nine. You like to have it for that final charge down the back nine. But either way, Robert Warrens, Robert Kahn at the front of this field. Ty Marasco, Michael Pratt on the second row. Going to be getting another green flag, this time by pace car. Is turning into pit lane, so we'll wait the about 15 minutes until the cars get around the tri-oval to take the green flag
shot here with Barney.
Yeah, we're gonna go to commercial and we'll be back. I promise we're not gonna miss a start. It is gonna be Robert Warrens that leads him back to the line. He is back on the loud pedal, and we are racing again here at Talladega. Definitely a place you don't want to get a good jump. We mentioned that before on Tuesday night. There's so many times where I've gotten such a good start that I'm dragging the brake just to get everybody back up to the field, because you don't really want to get a good jump here, or you're going to get freight trained real quick. But Robert Warren's going to use it up both lanes there, drifted up to the high line to get a little bit of Robert Kahn's help, and then back down to the bottom. It's got Ty Marasco behind him, DJ Mitzel moving up there as well. But for the most part, they're 2x2 through the field.
2x2, and some people like to be a little more aggressive and make their way up to the front early, as you've seen some do. They're starting to go 3 wide here early already. Only one lap back underneath green. We'll move up to that part of the field here. We'll jump on board with Hayden Wheeler there, the 92 on the outside, as he's looking to get to the front there of the one of Ty Marasco. So the 95, the one, and the 92 or 95, excuse me, working their way around.
Yeah, the 92 of Hayden Wheeler getting pushed by Derek Paulson. In the middle is Ty Marasco getting pushed by Robert Kahn. And then on the inside is Robert Warrens getting pushed by DJ Mitzel, as certainly some diving around here. Not sure how much of an issue the engine temperatures are here tonight with these ARCA cars. I do see some guys kind of dipping out there, maybe getting some fresh air on the front of that car to make sure the temperatures don't start creeping up there. But I mean, they're going some blazing speeds here, over 200 miles an hour here in these old school ARCA cars, and 3 wide like it's nothing. And I'll say that, knocking out wood to hopefully not put a broadcast curse out there, but about 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 for the top 12 positions.
Yeah, I mean, throw them all underneath the blanket. You know, one mess up and here goes 12 back into the next instead of 12. They're 3x3x3 as well. So, you know, just everybody going 3 wide, kind of keeping everything close. I mean, the whole field, for the most part, is only separated by. Let everybody see. There you go. Good guy. So from first to 28 is 4 seconds. 27 cars within 2 seconds. 26 cars in a second and a half. So yeah, that's a lot of vehicles out there. So 60 kind of, I think, almost out of that drafting area, and you're gonna see that that number grow as we cross the draft. So the 60 of Bryant Rainville, suffering from lack of having a partner and be by himself, and will be in danger of going a lap down within 10 to 15 laps. So we'll see what happens if they can keep it going green for that long. We had a pretty nice little run there early on, and just they came up on a lap car, and it was a little stinky. So we're going to go up here up front as they keep battling and jockeying around for position. 3 wide, Tim Lee in the middle, working his way to the front.
Yeah, definitely got to give a shout out to Brian Rainville. It seems like he's constantly kind of popping into the chat and watching other series when he's not out there running himself. I know he's popped into to the Core Xfinity a few times, and I think he's even been in the CSRL chat here and there. So shout out to Brian. I know he's kind of back off the pace right now, and then needing a friend or needing a caution or something like that to get him up here. But man, they're dancing around enough up here. They're trying for a caution. DJ Mitzel into the side of Tim Lee there. Kind of admin on admin at the front of the field. I don't know about that move right there, but either way, somehow they keep it going straight here. And on the inside line, we've got a new leader, and it's the 66 of John Garrett getting pushed by Robert Warnes, Tim Lee, DJ Mitzel, Ty Marasco for your top 5. And then Robert Kahn, Dennis Warnes, Michael Pratt, Dalton Kilroe, and Hayden Wheeler for your top 10. But has to be what the top 10 is next lap, and it'll probably be completely different as this thing kind of shuffles around real quickly when you got so many cars just under a blanket like this.
Yeah, there's just so many people that kind of watch. You know, it's actually pretty difficult, you know, as a broadcaster trying to see who's where, when, and you know, that's why I have, you know, multiple things I keep bringing up to kind of let the fans know. Obviously, you always let the running ticker up the top to kind of keep everybody informed, but that could change. Like next time they're like, okay, Marasco's in 6th, and then we'll sit here and wait, and then be like, why is Marasco in 12th? So that's why I'll bring the tower up here at Talladega. But definitely I'll try to keep as much stuff off the screen as possible because there's so many cars packed in such a short order.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight, and as usual, I'll say my spiel. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as we've got racing on Tuesday through Friday right now on CRN, and we also got some special events coming up here. We got a special event for the NASCAR Hall of Fame Foundation coming up next Friday night. Then in a couple weeks on Saturday night, it is going to be the 3rd running of the CRN Coke 300. So if you're a driver looking to get in the race, still plenty of time to get into that, as the race is going to be held on May 17th on Saturday night. $10 entry fee. And if you're looking to get in the NASCAR Hall of Fame Foundation race, that's going to be held again on May 9th, and that is the same thing. It's a $10 entry fee, but it's really just a donation. You just need to show that you donated $10 to the NASCAR Hall of Fame Foundation, which is it's a really great cause. And just to clarify, like we've done before, it's not to benefit the NASCAR Hall of Fame. It's actually to benefit children that are from pre-K to through the 12th grade, with scholarships that allow them access to learning opportunities that harness the sport's long-standing tradition of winning through innovation. So, they're a great cause there for the NASCAR Hall of Fame Foundation and Over the Edge. But we've got some great racing here, and it's fun being up here in the booth watching these guys 3 wide. But Jimmy, why don't you take us on board with somebody like Todd Merkel, kind of buried right in the middle of that pack, and just kind of show everyone how stressful it is being 3 wide in the middle here at Talladega.
I mean, there you go. I mean, all I'm thinking about is pizza in his car. But you can see off the nose on your screen there. You know, I have mine triple so I can see off to the side, but I got the one over on my right, and I got the 81 just off my nose on the left. I see a little gap. We're going to shoot it. So he gets right behind the 81. He's going to make me feel a little bit safer on the bottom. Now you can see off to you to the right side, bottom right hand of the screen. You can see the cars there. Just kind of tucked in line. You can see how fast that draft or how big that draft can pull a car by you. And so it's just like that. I mean, so if you have a space to go to your right now, you need to make, you can't be indecisive. You have to make the move. And sometimes, you know, the car is obviously twitchy at 192 miles an hour. I have the dashboard up there for you all to see. So you can see how fast they're going, but they're closing in on 200 miles an hour, 198. I don't think anybody's hit 200 yet. Xfinity cars, I think we're getting like 209 in the draft.
Yeah, I think they're probably just holding back.
Here.
Yeah, they're holding back. I think a little bit maybe.
209. Yeah.
Looks like everybody's had a top speed of over 200, a few 204s. I think a 205 back there. So it's just holding back maybe a little bit right now before they put in some final pushes, but. It's been a good little run here. We're on lap number 25 of 80, so still got plenty of racing to go here, and just need to find our way to the end. Just got to get to the end of this race, and then make sure you're in the right spot at the right time to kind of make that final charge. Want to thank the sponsors here real quick for the series, and that is Hilton Crafts and Designs. I always get screwed up when I don't see them in the order I'm so used to, but it is Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs, and Gold Line Guardians for the sponsors here in the Virtual Velocity Racing Series. Got a car down there to the inside, and well, that's what happens when you don't come down the pits with everybody else under caution. This is going to be a scheduled pit stop here for the
scheduled pit stop, Carl. I thought I seen smoke.
Oh, very well, yeah, because it doesn't look like. Oh, I don't know. It looks like he's just getting filled up and going back. I mean, maybe he did do a fast repair here, but again, you know, he didn't come down the pits on lap 12 when everybody else did under caution, stayed out, and.
Oh, that's right. Did he stay out?
Yeah, he was the only one that stayed out. Yep. Well, lone car that stayed out. Now he's the lone car that comes into the pits. He's got no friends to come into the pits with him, so he is going to be well towards the back here as we'll get you back live. And we got a three-way battle here at the front as Tim Lee, our fearless leader here in the Virtual Velocity Racing Series, and he is out to the lead. He's got Dennis Warnes on the outside, so Robert Warnes kind of stuck behind the 8-ball right now, and going to be possibly going a lap down by Dennis here very soon.
I mean, if you look, I'll just click over here, but here's the 60 coming up on the 95. They could extend this just for a little bit
Finally,
longer.
Rainville has a friend, and Robert Warnes probably will take any friend at this point. But can they get hooked up good enough to hold off this hard charging crowd? I mean, you see the back end of that 95. It says "poke me and die." So I don't know if I really want to be bump drafting them.
I mean, see, the main field's going. They can close in almost 200, and right now they're at 182. So they've already jumped at least 5 miles an hour. So they can at least prolong it. I don't think they're going to be faster, but I definitely think they're going to be have the opportunity here. And we see the lead has shifted around yet again. We see Tim Lee up there. Now we see the 90. And Dennis Warnes up there. So but you can see those Rangel and Warnes off in the distance here. So it won't take them too long, and they'll hop on board to get again. So up to 185. So not too bad, I think, for just 2 cars. I think if you have 3 or 4, you can go about the same speed. So they're missing a little bit of mojo. They're gonna have to tough it out here, and you can see the cars, how much they bounce around. Anything can happen at any time. So we'll see how it goes, and as they come down, I think they have to. They can't make it the whole way, obviously. So they will have to stop at least one more time.
No. Wheeler and Marasco getting together there a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you know, 2-3 cars together out in front of the field, you can hold them off if the field was just 2-3 cars in a row, or even if the whole field was straight in a row. But with the side draft, it's getting a little closer than a side draft right now, bumping into each other. But the side draft is really what helps, as we're about to see another big one here at Talladega. Bunch of cars involved, and bunch still getting involved here. It was getting a little bit close, certainly more than side draft in here. There's a lot of bumping going on. Somehow I think the 02 there, Tyler Hilton, once again just hung back enough and snuck through.
Yeah, just making their way through here, and it looks like obviously a bunch of people involved. We've seen the bumping happen in here early on. It's already started to happen here, so we'll go ahead and pause it so we can catch it all for the fans out there. They're all started up front with the is that the 92, right?
Yeah, the 92 of Hayden Wheeler, I think, was one of them, and already getting turned sideways. There's by the 77 of Michael Pratt.
There we go, a little bit better. We'll back it up just a little bit more.
You see Pratt just kind of drifting up a little bit. Mid-corner, maybe just trying to poke his nose out there, maybe get a little fresh air. But the 92 was not all the way up in that top lane, up above the dash white lines. And they make contact. The 92 looked like he was going to get by, but a big net code in between the 92 and the 94. And that's certainly going to start it here. The 92 hard into the 21. The 5 bounces off the wall hard. And I think he was trying to get off the wall. It just shot straight to the left. And Gordon Larson probably thought, I made it through this thing. I'm good to go. And then all of a sudden there's a 5 turns sideways in front of him and gets involved anyway.
Either he got tagged too.
Yep, yeah, Hemi got tagged pretty hard there as well. And another one that probably 6-7 cars that are going to be needing a fast repair or needing quite some time here under caution to get repaired.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's the one thing about as fun as it can be on Super Speedway, definitely can be a heartache, you know, if you get actually involved. And that's when a lot of tempers can flare between league mates. But so I wanted to take a second and give a shout out to Keegan Osler out there, and also Nico Garcia joining us from the couch, I guess. Him out there being busy, but definitely trying to see who's going to win here at Talladega. But right now, Tim Lee in and out. So top off the fuel, come back in. I still think they can't make it the whole way. So there's still that possibility of that green flag pit stop, that wonderful Buderus fan coming into the pits of like all the cars. But Tim Lee will lead this crowd here around late, but at lap 31 of 80. And then Ty Marasco, DJ Mitchell, John Garrett, Chris Schuessler, Andrew Pileshi, Rick Thompson, Len McNeese, Dennis Forms, and Mike Rideout.
Jimmy, I'm seeing a bit of a trend here. Tim Lee was out for a little bit. He was sick in the hospital. Felt like absolute crap, to put it lightly. All of a sudden, since he's been back from the hospital, he's led at Bristol pretty late and looked like he had a shot at that one. And granted, it's not even halfway here at Talladega, but 24 is up there again. I mean, yeah, sometimes you get sick, you lose a little bit of weight, and he's a little bit, lighter in the car right now. Maybe he's going a little bit faster. I don't know what the deal is, but that 24 all of a sudden got a little jolt of speed.
I mean, yeah, maybe just out there, just enjoy, obviously enjoy running some Speedway. It's always fun to get out there, obviously, and give it a whirl. Like I said, it can be fun, a lot of fun, obviously. You're up there, you get that draft, you get that adrenaline rush because somebody's right next to you. You want to know, you're just wondering when the big one's going to happen, if it's going to happen. Where should I be? Should I be middle pack? Should I be back pack? Should I be up front? I mean, where do I need to be? Because if you're up front, you're like a sitting duck. Anybody can, just back up a little bit and build momentum and get around you. It's a lot going on. But right there, you can see the 38 of Hilton Young getting his lap back. So I think that's going to put everybody on the lead map. So Hilton Young making his way back to the rest of the pack. Hopefully he can make it around. It does look like he will be able to do so. He's on midway and the backstretch there are filing double wide here. Looking at the pace car, lights are out, so it just came out at 2. Gotta make their way around the field, so still probably about a mile and a half to go. So that 21 just N38 hoofing it to catch up to the rest of the field. So Robert Kahn obviously trying to motor around as he crosses the start finish line, trying to catch the rest of the field. You got the 60 as well. Brian there catching back up as well.
Yeah, Rainville back up in the back. I'm sure he's happy about this caution coming out, and certainly so is Robert Warrens back mid-pack right now in 15th as he's back on schedule with everybody else on the pit stops as well. So everybody pitting on this last yellow flag here. The only one that is not and hasn't pitted for a little bit now, trying to get back to the back of the field, and it looks like he is back on the lead lap. That is Hilton Young in the 38. So all 30 cars right now on the lead lap here on lap 32 as a pace car going to pull in here once again. At the front of the field, it is going to be Tim Lee that is going to be leading this field back to green. Ty Marasco, DJ Mitchell, John Crane, Chris Schuessler for the top 5. Then you got Andrew Pileshi, Rick Thompson, Len McNeese, Dennis Warrens, and Mike Red out for the top 10, but it's all in control here by the 24. He's back on the loud pedal, and we are racing again at Talladega.
Nice little start there by Tim, maybe a little too much, but a good start. No spin tires, not with the sideways. We're going to go 2 wide, 2x2, but top 4 got just a little bit of a gap there. Could cause problems, but look back just a little bit. Kind of broken up a little bit, so I don't think we're going to see that huge run. You can see the 87, Rick Thompson, kind of like with a gap in front of him and behind him, so not quite sure what happened. For some of the drivers, probably didn't have the start they wanted, but it won't take long. A little bit of draft, these cars get wound up, but you can still get the backpack of the field here. See, there's a huge gap here from the start, so I don't know if it's just cars with damage or just bad starts or what's going on back there.
Yeah, certainly a lot of cars just kind of shuffle all over the place. Typically by now you see everybody kind of caught up to each other and everybody back in the pack, and you see the bigger pack kind of forming here at the front. So maybe the guys in the back just kind of hanging back there, maybe looking for some partners to get ready to make their move to get back up there. Not even halfway yet in the race, so plenty of time. Not to worry about it yet, but how about the 90 shooting up the middle there? Dennis Warren's looking to get back to the front, but maybe going to get held up here a little bit as the 66 of John Garrett. Going to slow up here a little bit to go into the corner. Can you see these cars not exactly planted like the Xfinity were on Tuesday night? They're dancing around a little bit here.
Yeah, dancing about a quarter car left and right, and you just got to keep that in mind. Corners. Like I said,
and you don't want to tap the apron.
No, apron bad here. Like I said, when you're tucked up in behind somebody, drafting, I mean, even when you're solo, the car wants to kind of, when you start turning, kind of like plow its set way out a little bit. You just got to be careful, especially when you fall, somebody might have to actually lift just a little bit. And if you're lifting, you're saving anyways. You're doing yourself some good, possibly before that last and final pit stop, and maybe get that partial of a second out before everybody else. So you can see how close everybody is, how big of a deal that would be. So right now it is Tim Lee, DJ Mitchell, Andrew Pileshi, Ty Marasco, Eric Blount, Len McNeese, John Garrett, Robert Warrens, Dennis Warrens, and Gordon Larson currently in the top 10. Chris Schuessler, Mike Rideout, Rick Thompson, Robert Kahn, Derek Paulson, Henry Gervin, Todd Merkel, Michael Eden, Kay Green, Brandon Meyer, Hayden Wheeler, Mike Hasty, Tyler Hilton, Brian Engfield, Michael Caldwell, Michael Taylor, Hilton Young, Fred Thompson, and Michael Ratz for your VVR field here tonight that are all currently out there. Everybody's on the lead lap and shuffling around, doing a pretty decent job. Have a few cautions, but that's kind of expected here. And I wouldn't be too upset because you know what happens unless you've used up your fast repairs, and now you have no more good cars left. You just got to go out there and do laps, and that can be sad times.
Take a look at our top 3 finishers from last week. Maxwell Caldwell getting the win. He's back there in 26th position right now in the 94. Second place last week was the 6 of Eric Blunton. You can see him up there close to the front of the pack, right behind Andrew Pileshi, but has since fallen back here a little bit on that outside line. And then Holloway not in the field here tonight. But at the front right now, Tim Lee is your leader. DJ Mitzel, maybe they talked about it. They talked about that little, sideways bump. And maybe DJ Mitzel's trying to pay him back here and play nice and push him at the front of the field here. Not sure if he got scolded or not, but he's that Forrest really dancing around maybe a little bit too much right now, and a good push from the outside here. Derek Paulson gives a good shove there to Ty Marasco as they'll clear the middle line for the time being, but the 76, you see, it's just there's so much of a side draft in these cars, and really any car Talladega. If you get that middle line, you can just get a double side draft and shoot straight up through the middle.
Has got to be careful he doesn't get too far pushing the 24 of Tim Lee. These cars have a nose on them, kind of like a wedge, and they fit right underneath that bumper. You can actually lift the tires up off the car in front of you, and that's not what Tim Lee. I think Tim Lee a little upset that happened. So got to be careful here. And the Ford is dancing back and forth. You can see how much. That's another way that bunker kind of gets hooked on the back of the 24, could spin them as well. So kind of unsettling there. We'll go back. We'll just take a look from right here behind. So we'll go on board and see what he's doing. Kind of see them, but we'll in this car, we can kind of share the experience what he's seeing in front of him.
If I'm them like Heath, I'm not sure I want to get too close to DJ Metzel right now. I mean, he's waving back and forth more than Forrest Gump when he's seen Lieutenant Dan. I mean, he's got to get that thing a little bit under control. He's pushing as much as he can to get Tim Lee out there, but not even halfway yet. We got this lap yet till we complete the first half of this race. So a lot of driving yet to go. We've had 2 cautions so far, a couple mini big ones here, but everybody is still on the lead lap. And now Mitzel gonna peek out here and see what's gonna happen as we got the 38 of Hilton Young back out on the track right now. And I believe actually Hilton Young is one of the cars that is a lap down, or it's gonna be a lap down right now. And not sure if some of the field seen him at the top, and holy. Not Tim Lee, holy, that was close right there, and the 98 slamming on the brakes mid-corner.
Wow.
This has been quite an adventure for Hilton Young here tonight.
Yeah, trying to stay out there, and obviously to get back on a lead lap, and went in or stayed out and had to come in for fuel. I'm sure I probably did not want to do that, but goes back in, comes up, and he bit it on the inside, messed it up, so he tried the outside, and it didn't work either. So
I don't know how that wasn't a big one. I mean, there was so close to so many guys coming up, flying up, not even seeing them. When they're coming around the corners there. I mean, that was. Whew.
Unfortunately, I don't have the chatter on because sometimes things fly. On Iracing.
There's nothing that says brown pants moment for this driver, brown pants moment for this driver. Nothing like that. Yeah, man, that was insane.
Not sure if he called it out, like, hey, I'm slow, I'm up top, whatever, but definitely not what these drivers want to see. I'm sure, like, oh shit, there's somebody up slow up top. So, I mean, it is what it is. But either way, 24 out front right now. DJ Mitzel on the outside in the 4. Len McNeese now pushing the 24. And the 95 of Robert Warnes looking to continue getting a good point slot here as he's fighting for that championship up currently towards the front. moment. But yeah, these races, the opportunity for anybody to win is there. It's who can manage the incidents, who can manage the fuel, who can put themselves in the right spot, the right moment, and it's not always. It gives the opportunity for not the fastest guy on the track normally to have that win here. So because everything's kind of equalized, everything is the same. It's kind of a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, and you walk away with some winners and some great finishes. It is your anxiety is very high in this race, for sure.
Well, it's funny. I mean, we look back at the last time we were at a super speedway was the first race of the season at Daytona, and the man we're talking about dancing and dancing and dancing. When he danced his way to victory lane, DJ Mitzel got the win in the season opener at Daytona. So I don't know. Maybe it's mind games. I mean, maybe he's oh man, I don't know how to handle this car back and forth. Everybody stay off of me, and maybe they're just afraid to pass him. I mean, maybe it's all mind games.
I mean, the cat's out of the bag now. I mean, half the drivers are watching while we're broadcasting here, so somebody's got some insight before. Look out.
Well, we are past the halfway point now here on lap number 44, and got a good little run here. Hopefully they keep it nice and green here for a while. Maybe we get to see some green flag pit stops here at some point. But well, they're at full throttle here. While we crank these guys up and give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it coming up. Lights and sounds of the ARCA car at Talladega coming to a caution halt as we enter in another caution here on lap 54 of 80. It looked like Todd Merkel was involved here. Let's see if I can catch it. Change cameras. You can see already it's happening. I'm going to go here and we will rewind it for y'all. Stop. Can't miss the juicy stuff.
And did Tim Lee somehow escape out of this thing? It looked like he might actually been the one that started it, drifting up and getting into the 2 there. And then just ran down the track, fearing for his life, and just doesn't get hooked. I mean, he gets hooked right there. It is 9-9 time for the 24, but the 2 gets sent flying through the air. The 84, the 95, the 76,
I think the
all getting tangled up in this thing. The 61 somehow hot and ready to shoot right through the corner there, right through the middle there. The 6 Eric Blunt getting through there. I think the 90 Dennis Warren's getting through that thing as well, but quite a few others involved and taking some heavy damage here once again, and starting to get to that point now. Now at this point, if you haven't taken a fast repair, I think you have to take one on this one, and unless it's a very little bit of damage. So it's starting to get closer to that time. It's not really go time just yet, but we're getting closer to that point and should be good to go on a pit stop from here at this point. So you'll see probably everybody come down, make their final pit stop of the race here, barring getting tangled up in another caution. As we ride on board with Hemi Giardini, did he once again get tangled up in something here? I mean, he just cannot catch a break these last couple weeks, and see him coming up on Michael Pratt and, getting up and under Michael Pratt on this one, as Pratt was slowing up for the wreck and Giardini not getting slowed up in time. So to bring us under our third caution here of the night, and all in all, it's been 50 plus laps here at Talladega. 3 cautions, really not too bad. It's certainly a track that you can have multiple wad ups real quick here, and you can definitely have cautions breeding cautions, but although I think the drivers are doing pretty good, just some tight racing and some cars that are just a little bit free, a little bit dancy, and I think netcode can easily come into play here as well.
Yeah, I mean I've been kind of surprised. I haven't seen much netcode tonight. I mean, it's always out there, whether it's a small case or a big case, but definitely haven't seen much of it. I mean, maybe you can call netcode with the car going inside of the 95 in that last incident. That was kind of Warren's wouldn't be around if that was real life, because the front end was sitting in the driver's seat. But we're going to line back up here, come back out. A lot of drivers have come back in, taking their fuel, their tires, whatever they need, and get back out on the track. And that's going to put the number 5 of Derek Paulson out front and the number 1 of Ty Marasco, obviously, as well. DJ Metzel still hanging out front there in P number 3. Robert Kahns in 4th. Brian Rainville makes it back up there at P number 5. Hayden Wheeler, the 92, makes it back up there. He's in 6th. Dennis Warren is in 7th. Tim Lee falls back to P number 8. Rick Thompson in 9th, and Eric Blanc for your top 10. Then Chris Schuessler, Maxwell Caldwell, Michael Pratt, Cade Green, Brandon Meir, Mike Hasty, John Garrett, Dalton Kilroe, Tyler Hilton, Len McNeese. That'll round out your top 20. And then the rest of the field is Hemi Giardini, Michael Eden, Todd Merkel, Robert Warrens, Mike Rideout, Andrew Pileshi, Gordon Larson, Michael Taylor, Fred Thompson, and Hilton Young. So can't catch a break. Just there is a couple cars, a few laps, or at least a lap down, and that's Thompson is 1 lap down, Young being 3 laps down. So Young from the get-go not being able to catch a break, but they did make a pallium last time, clean as a whistle, when they made it by him as a lap car this last lap. So finally figured out getting out of the way the field, and Hilton Young, unfortunately for Hilton Young, puts him 3 laps down instead of 2, but looks like we're gonna, I think the lights are off in the pace car.
Indeed they are. We're going to get ready to go back green here. It'll be 23 laps to go. And you look at your leader, Derek Paulson. He hasn't been full-time this year, only getting to 5 of the 8 races so far. but not really having the season here as well. Only 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s to show for it so far this season. No wins here as well. So looking for a nice little win here tonight and keep the wins coming for the team there. As as mentioned, Dalton Kilroe getting a couple wins recently. And Derek Paulson was one that was battling neck and neck with him last season for the championship, and certainly got his fair share of wins as well. But winless so far this season, and really just probably looking for a good finish here. Not sure if he's going to get back here full time at any point this season, but certainly one to watch for no matter what track we're at is that 5. But Ty Marasco, it doesn't matter where we go. It just seems like that one finds a way to the front. It's just, can he keep it at the front is really the question. We see Marasco lead. It seems almost every race at one point or another. We see that one up there at the front, but one thing or another happens and he gets caused in, gets caught up in a wreck by by somebody else's doing, or maybe even by his own doing. He gets caught with the wrong strategy. It just seems like nothing wants to work out for that one of Marasco, but we'll see how the rest of this race works out for the 2 on the front row right now. Paulson's going to lead them back to the Geico restart zone. The pace car is in. We're going to have 23 laps to go, so still not really go time just yet, but the blood pressure's starting to get a little bit higher as Derek Paulson's foot gets a little bit lower on that loud pedal, and we are racing again here at Talladega.
Yeah, you see the nice slow start by the first 6, and they're side by side. There is going to be no huge draft catching somebody's bumper and a huge checkup. So great start from up front. We'll go back just a little bit here into the field here. You can see him jockeying around a little bit more, trying to close in them gaps. I'll go back here with Michael Eden in the 8. Haven't talked about him very much. Been kind of hanging around. He's up 12 spots currently on the night. I'm starting in the back. And obviously Andrew Pleshy being kind of quiet here, but getting towards the end with 23 laps to go. I would not be surprised to see maybe some of these typically faster drivers of VVR start crawling their way to the front here to get into position for those last and final laps, because for them obviously you want to get there cleanly, so you probably want to start moving now. So we'll see who's going to work together, who's going to step out. I see the 2 wanting to get back up there as well of Merkel. Oh,
and we got some checking up here, some smoke. We got another caution, and it looks like the 5 of Paulson getting involved in this one, the 2 and the 00 getting involved here late as well.
Wow.
Looks like Eden, Merkel, Larson, Paulson all involved in this. We'll take a look back and see what started this one. And already wrecking at the front of this thing, and the 8 there of Eden goes up on the side there after getting into Paleshi. But already the 60 going left, the 5 going right. 4 staying straight through the middle here. So we'll see what happened here. Now it looks like just a bump draft gone wrong coming out of the corner. Looks like the 4 gets into the right rear of the 5 and sends him straight off into the wall. And I think the 60 just dove down to the inside just in case that 4 was going to come down. Marasco, we just talked about it, getting involved in a little bit of a scrape right there. Don't look like it was too bad, and kept it up on the wall. So maybe it's enough that he can just get those little dents and scratches repaired. But
wow,
so many cars just somehow sneaking by.
The 8 did not make it by Michael Eden.
No, not so much. No.
He's already. They just kind of look at you
like that violent of a hit against the 81, but
I mean, you can see from hit from the top of the car, you can see the 5's number on the top of the car.
Yeah,
from
that's never what you want to see.
That's not what you want to see, but obviously kind of cruising down, waiting for things to happen. You can see everybody kind of getting out of the way, but there is the 81 on his right side, and it's going to Dukes of Hazzard up on 2 wheels here. And boy, oh boy, there's the 5. Oh, let me tag that too. So poor 8 there for that incident there. But as they continue to go around, obviously we talked about Derek Paulson still sideways in the middle track, hoping not to get hit by anybody else. Yeah, but push gone wrong here late, as they're going to be regrouping back up, obviously coming in, taking last minute repairs. 20 laps to go. It's been a long one here as these drivers continue to battle the what ifs. What if I would have missed? What if I would have not pushed this hard? But fast repairs are being used. You can see that to the front end coming out immediately for Todd Merkel. There's still time to go. There is still 20 laps, and that's a long time here. So they still have the ability to get to the front, even if they're starting all the way back in 26th spot. It looks like DJ Mitchell obviously coming out. Gordon Larson still in the pits. Might not have a fast repair on that car. I'll kind of zoom in here.
He's been involved in a few things here tonight, and I would not be surprised that he doesn't have a fast repair left. But yeah, I mean, still plenty of time left in this race. There's 20 to go right now. We're going to get back going green. Probably 18 laps to go. But I mean, to me, around 20 laps to go is where you're looking to kind of find your partners, where you're looking to find your teammates, where you're looking to find the guys that are going to make their way to the front with you. By 10 laps to go, you need to kind of start making that move and start working your way into what you feel is a good position to make that last charge. By 5 laps to go, you need to be in that position to make the final charge. But I mean, really, it's so tough, and you almost kind of have to feel it out. When is actually the right time to go? And we've joked around about it. I've said how many times that I don't want to be the one leading at the white flag.
I don't.
And it seems like it never works out for me. And by the sounds of it, didn't work out for you too well either, Jimmy. So I don't want to be leading at the white flag, but we've seen so many times that the leader ends up coming around and taking the other green or the checker flag as well from everyone just jockeying for a position behind them. So it's not necessarily, I guess, a bad position to be in, leading coming to the white flag, but it all depends on how many wide you are. I mean, if I'm at the front, the inside line is the safest place to be, and it's usually where the most drivers are going to be, in line. But if you're going to want to try and make a fast, hard charge, the middle is where it's really at. I mean, you get that double side draft. You can go from the back to the front by yourself without even any drafting partners, just from getting the air sucked off the car to the left and then to the right and back and forth all the way up through the field. So we'll see it all plays out. Still a lot of time to go here. It is 19 to go. The pace car lights are out. It's going to be 18 to go here once we get the green flag. Brian Rainville at the front of this thing. Dennis Warrens, Robert Kahn, Chris Schuessler, and Rick Thompson for the top 5. Then you got Caldwell, Hasty, Robert Warrens, Garridini, and Garrett for your top 10.
Yeah, I mean, Dega's, obviously we talk about we don't want to be the lead car towards the end, and obviously you want to be the lead car at the end. But I have my second iRacing oval win was at Talladega, and it was before the old A cars departed, and they brought in the next gen cars. It was a long one too. It was actually open setup, so you had to have your own setup for the car, and I won by like a mere 1/100th of a second. So, and that was a move to the outside side drafting, and it was so close. I don't have to replay anymore because I had to do a fresh install, but it was something that was kind of fun. Obviously you get the adrenaline rush in, and it's just kind of, like I said, to come down to it. And it was one of the very few races where I had somebody behind me that was just happy to be where he was at and just pushed, and he did not like step out as we were all there. We were like 5 wide or something like that. It was crazy, but he just stayed right on my bumper instead of stepping out and trying to take that away. But we're getting ready to go back to green as Brian Rainville will wait for Barney to drop that flag and then put his foot on the pedal here. And away they should be going as they come down right here into the Geico restart zone. And we are back to green as Brian Rainville will get back on the loud pedal and get that inside line rolling along with the 90 of Dennis Warrens on the outside. They're all tucked up underneath each other as they head down to turn number 1. Nice and smooth, 2x2 throughout the field. Let me look to my right. Yep, everybody's 2x2. as we come over down to 3, working our way down, level out the cars from that 33-degree banking, I believe it is, down the backstretch. Now I got to shuffle around just a little bit, try to get the push going here and see who can stay out front here with 18 laps to go. Ooh, a little bit down on that inside. That was Chris Schuessler in the hot and ready car. You got to be careful with that. That could cause for a disaster, even just tiptoeing. You see somebody up there on the high side. I believe that's Tim Lee looking to get the outside to work. You got the 84 Len McNeese coming out there, and the 6 of Blount stepping out as well. So they're getting a tandem. And the 94 tucked out as well, making it get a 94 to Caldwell.
Yeah, Caldwell looking to go back-to-back, winning at one of the smallest tracks on the schedule, Bristol, last week, and then going to the biggest track on the schedule, I guess other than COTA, the biggest oval here on the schedule at Talladega, and getting pushed to the front of the field right now. Len McNeese behind him, Tim Lee behind him, and then in the middle lane you get Dennis Warnes in the 90, the 21 Con, and Dennis Warnes gonna get tagged, and this is going to be the big one here at Talladega. This is going to involve the majority of the field. You just got to try and get that car woed up as much as possible and try and avoid all the chaos. But that was a big one here.
Yeah, it was big here.
And it started right at the front of the field.
Now I'm going to go ahead and hop on the top of the nose of Dennis Warnes in front here. You guys can't see. But as things unfold here, we'll see how fast things just go bad here. And I'll go ahead and I'll switch to this camera. You can all see the mess that's happening here as they go down in the 3. It looks like the 60 just kind of came up just a little bit.
Well, I think right there,
94 came down.
Yeah, the 94 came down a bit, and I think that the 90 maybe panicked a little bit, went down to the bottom, but the 60 was already on the inside. Comes across his nose, and it'd be bad enough right there, but then once he shoots back up the track, ends up getting tagged a little bit by the 95, and then just airplanes it up into the catch fence. And he talked about Dennis Warnes not making it through the previous incident. I'm not sure he would have made it through this incident here as well. And in real life, as he went up there pretty bad. The 81 involved there, the 6, the 95, the 66, pretty much you name it, they were involved in this one. It looks like a couple of them checked up in time, like the 02 right there, maybe getting through there without any kind of damage. 13 checking up here as well, just sneaking on by as the 90s drifting down the track, and a couple of the guys at the back of the field maybe getting by here, but that was the big one here at Talladega.
That was at least half the field, Carl. Half the drivers,
least, yes.
Yeah, are now down in the pits. Tim Lee, Gordon Larson, Chris Schuessler, Brian Rainville, DJ Missile, Eric Blount, John Garrick, Rick Thompson, Mike Hasty, Andrew Pileshi, Cade Green, Robert Kahn, Mike Rideout, Hammy Gardini, Hayden Wheeler, Len McNeese, Robert Warnes. Bad day. Bad at the wrong moment here. I'll go back live here. Come on. It doesn't want to go back for me. Okay. There we go. I'll just press over then. The live button. There we go. But yeah, so a lot of drivers in, but it's going to put the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell out front and the 02 of Tyler Hilton. Making his way up to the front here, being able to avoid things. And somebody we haven't talked about much tonight, Brandon Muir. He's had his fair shares of being involved. Michael Pratt up 22 spots. That number 77 all finds himself in P number 4. Tide Marasco and the 1 still hanging in strong. Haven't talked about him much. Started out front, disappeared for a while. Here he comes, number 41 up top. Or Dalton Kilroe here with 15 laps to go. Derek Paulson has been given another chance. Todd Merkel somehow, some way, has found his way up there as in the front as well in the top 10. Michael Eden, after we've seen him go for a ride, sitting in 9th. Michael Taylor in the 98 has had his fair share tonight. He's currently sitting in 10th. And Dennis Warnes that we just seen, he took a gander at the stars as he was rolling down the front stretch. So definitely see these cars group back up. 15 laps to go. We'll see if we can clean this thing up, bring it on home, and get ourselves a winner here at Talladega.
Yeah, I'm gonna venture and say that Dennis Warren still had a fast repair because I'm not sure his crew is that good to get that thing cleaned back up. And Tim Lee right behind him as well. He's all cleaned up here in the 24, ready to make another move up to the front. That car is nice and clean for the finish. And that's what I said before. I mean, you got 80 laps here on tap tonight, but the first 60, 70 really don't matter. You got to make sure all those fenders are on when it comes to crunch time here at the end. And it's still not really ready to go just yet. It is going to be 13 laps to go here on the restart, but you don't even really need to make any kind of moves just yet. I say that, and we know that there's going to be drivers making their moves as soon as the green flag drops here, but it's all going to be controlled here by Maxwell Caldwell, last week's winner, Tyler Hilton in second, Brandon Muir, Michael Pratt, Ty Marasco for your top 5. So we'll see who can survive these last 13 laps here at Dega.
I mean, if I'm Brian, back there, Brian Rainville back here in 25th, yeah, I'm going to start making moves now. I mean, obviously it's 14 laps to go. It's going to take me a little while to kind of get going. See Hemi Gherardini catching the field there, slowing down, wiggling the car just a little bit, coming in the frame there. But 17 of Hemi Gherardini still has an opportunity to get to the front. Just has to get a little bit lucky and work his way through that traffic without an incident happening. So we've seen Hemi up front in the past, so I want us to be surprised to see him up there again. But having some issues this year, kind of getting tied up in situations that maybe he hasn't caused, or he has caused, but not the best of luck so far this season. But Maxwell Caldwell is out front and looking to add another great finish here to his resume, as that 94 will lead the field down here to start and cross that start-finish line with 13 laps to go.
13 to go here at Dega, and just looking forward here a little bit in regards to the season, as next week we will be right back in action at the Chicagoland Speedway. Very unique little tri-oval out there in the Midwest. We'll have a week off, and then we'll head to Michigan. Absolutely love it. Indy and Texas before we have the summer break. So 4 more races before the summer break here in the Virtual Velocity ARCA series, and we'll see how this thing ends up here. 13 laps to go here, already 3 wide towards the back of the field. 2 by 2 at the front as Mir now to the outside in the 13, trying to work his way up to the front.
There's somebody getting left behind there to the 94, or 95, excuse me. Not being able to make it here with the field, but obviously hoping that this field will go under caution one more time. Maybe get them a chance to get up with everybody else, but they're making it around here right now as they exit turn number 4 down the front stretch, and still would be battling here for a finish. The start-finish line down at the end of the the front stretch. Now they're heading down into turn number 1, 3 wide. Back there about 4th, 5th place, but 2 wide up front here. You got the 94, the 1, the 02, the 5, the 77, the 41, and the 2 all battling out here.
And now is a time where I can understand the 77 being up towards the front, and Michael Pratt got the Mountain Dew 77 in the second place in line, in the second line out there behind the 02 of Tyler Hilton. But the outside line still trying to figure out a way, still trying to form up. It's mainly majority that inside line and middle line right now working very well, but Mir out there with Tim Lee right behind him trying to get something working, get some gelling in. Now they get some more coming up there. Lem McNeese joining the fray, and I think DJ Mitchell was right behind as well. So see if that outside line gets working here. 11 laps to go here at Dega. Be 10 to go at the line.
Yeah, and I mean right there on top of Tim Lee's car. I mean, you can see maybe Mir out there on his Twitch channel. Give him a shout out. It looks like Mir71. So if you're over on Twitch, go check out his point of view. I'm sure he's chanting it up there as he's trying to work his way towards the front for a great finish here at Talladega. A lot of people that are out there in the field, I'm sure, stream their POVs and talk to their community and give them a little support and shout outs out there. It's a great platform. I do it myself as well when I'm not over here on CRM putting on the show for the massive fans. But it is a lot of fun. You can, if you like to have a little community out there, kind of root you on and support your hobby or game or whatever you're playing. But right now, we're looking at iRacing here at Talladega with Michael Pratt taking the lead with Dalton Kilrow pushing.
Yeah, that inside line not working out too well here. The 02 and 94 dropping back here pretty quickly, and now the 77 going to drop down to that inside line, and look who is coming up through the middle. He's got Ty Marasco right behind him. That is the 41 of Dalton Kilrow. Started the pole here, but as Jimmy mentioned, haven't really talked about him since. As he led the first couple of laps, went to the high side, dropped to the back, and then we haven't seen him. And now we do see him, as we're going to see a big incident here again, and very big incident here. Smoke all over the place. Somebody ended up turtled on the inside there. Looks like the 19 maybe stuck on the apron, and the 1 tried to get back going. This was a big one, number 2 here at Talladega. And it happens just inside 10 to go. I believe that was Brandon Muir that was on his roof. He has to tow back to pit lane. But this involved probably half the field again.
Yeah. Just it happened so fast, like even SDK did not catch any of that.
I mean, half the field, I couldn't even tell if they were involved, and it was blinking because there was so much going on. It was just kind of an overload. But
yeah, we tried to get
looks like the 1 and the 13 somehow getting together there. Not sure if the 1 was trying to sneak to the outside of the 41.
We'll chopper view here for this one. See what happened here up front.
Looks like the 1 and the 13 get together. And then 13 collects the 41. And the 1 pretty much collects the rest of the field here, as a lot getting involved in this one.
Goes Merkel down the apron. 87 coming down. Warren's just went for a ride. It's going to go for another one. 87, 76. Marasco, the 19 of Cade Green. Hemi made it across. Somewhere in there.
Well, you mentioned, I forget who it was now, at the back of the field. Robert Warrens, I think it was, coming out of the pits and not getting caught up with the field. This is what he needed right here. He needed something like this to get him right back in the mix of this thing, right back in the field. But we'll take you back live here, as I think the field is still trying to get sorted out, still trying to get back up there. I'm sure we'll see quite a few coming to the pits, and yeah, you're starting to see it right now. Probably about half the field again coming into the pits to try and get work done, get repairs done. Hopefully you got a fast repair left, but I feel like everybody in this field has been caught up in something or another. Michael Pratt going to be your leader, as we should be getting it should be 2 to go this time by. So we will get the white flag, not the white flag, we'll get the 1 to go next time by. It'll be 5 laps to go when we get that green.
Yeah, so obviously we'll just kind of go who kind of maybe made it through that one there. Michael Pratt, obviously he's out front. The 02 of Tyler Hilton, Maxwell Caldwell in the 94, Derek Paulson in the 5, and Andrew Pileshi will make up your top 10. Then you have Eric Blount, Dennis Warrens in the 90, and Gordon Larson, Robert Kahn, and Brian Rainville for your top 10. So, and then back to DJ Mitzel in the 4, Todd Merkel in the 2, Mike Hasty, John Garrett, Chris Schuessler for your top 15. 16th, Dalton Kilrow, so after being up front, being collected, getting shuffled back halfway through the field. And Ty Marasco in the DQ car. Cade Green back there, he got involved. Mike Taylor was involved. Robert Warrens in the 95. Had the ability to catch up.
It's kind of funny. We talked about the 41 at Kilrow. He had the pole, and then all of a sudden we didn't talk about him since he dropped back through the field. Probably stayed back there and avoided all the incidents that happened in front of him. and it makes sense that, you know, you do the smart thing. You try and fall to the back and let everything happen, and then you try and make your run up there at the end. And of course, as soon as he gets to the front, gets taken out in a wreck. But looks like Tim Lee certainly looking a little worse for wear. I'm not sure if that 24 is going to make it to the end of this race. I think the front end looks about how he felt a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, it's not going to be at the top of the field here tonight. Michael Pratt is going to be the one that leads him back to the green. Should be 1 lap to go before we get that green this time by. So it'll be 5 to go in the race. Will we see it all the way green to the end? Will we see some more action here? Maybe a green white checker before this thing is over. Either way, I want to send a shout out to our series sponsors here, that being Gold Line Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. And shout out to all the fans out there as well. I want to thank you for stopping in here, and hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that's here and has to offer.
Brian out there, Code Brown, hold my beer. He says, I spilled my beer.
That's a party foul right there. I think that's a pass-through penalty, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, he's doing all right. I mean, he's probably got a wet lap now, but the 60 Brian Rainville sitting there in P number 9, up 18 spots. So that comeback, but Michael Pratt, 25 spots to the front. It's been a while since we got to talk to Michael up here in the booth, so it'd be good to see Mike finally putting a sponsor on the car. It changed from last week to this week, but still the 77. Got Mountain Dew on board this week, and going to try to salvage a great finish here and possibly win. But it's hard at Dega, you know, with obviously 6 laps to go. You got the first lap, it's the cars winding up, and then the second lap, everybody's jockeying for position and hope you can survive, and your car doesn't have too much damage. Does look like the 81 of Andrew Plessy's got some front end damage as a tire. You can see the tire sticking out there on the left side. So maybe not somebody that's going to be out there in the front, be taking, you know, won't be aerodynamically sound. So he's going to need to be tucked up right under or behind somebody, and hopefully that's enough to keep that 81 going at pace. But the pace car is going to be off as the 77 on Michael Pratt and Tyler Hilton lead the field down here to try to finish this thing off with 5 laps to go.
And the 94 Maxwell Caldwell back out there in 3rd place. Again, looking to go back to back. Derek Paulson all cleaned up. He's out there on the second spot in the 2nd row, starting 4th. Oh, we'll just keep it easy and say that. But green flag back in the air. 5 laps to go here at Dega. Who has got the hot shoe tonight? Who's going to get it done? Who is going to survive? I mean, if we have another big one here at Talladega, we may only see 10 cars finish this race at this point, but it is certainly go time now. It's 5 laps to go. You got to get in the right position right now. You got to try and figure out, do you want to be the leader? Do you want to be middle line? Do you want to be top line? Looks like Merkel going to the top line, looking for some friends to push him to the front. But at the front, it is Tyler Hilton in the middle and Michael Pratt on the inside leading the race.
This one's 3 wide towards the back of the field, 2 wide up front, and they got to be careful. Like I said, the noses on these and the rear bumpers of these cars don't match up very well. So it's almost, in order to get a good push, obviously you want to get really close, but you don't want to touch things in these cars. They really can get some of these, and you definitely don't want to push the pushers. You can see 6 trying to tuck up there as close as we can without affecting anything, blinking in and out just a little bit from the 6 of Eric Blount, and will make people him and haw just a little bit, maybe second guess, and but they're not gonna play fool to that as Brian Rainville looks to the outside to maybe take that number 60 to the front.
They get a good push, but so is that middle line, the 5 pushing the 02. Just gets a nose in front heading into turn number 3, but then a retaliation here from the inside, the 94 of Caldwell pushing the 77 of Pratt. But that outside line starting to build up a little bit of momentum. Brian Rainville leads the outside line right now. It's going to be 3 laps to go at Dega, and 3 is the number. It is 3 by 3 by 3 by 3, pretty much the entire field. Can they hold it for 3 more laps?
it's tough. I mean, you're trying your hardest and like just every inch, but you know, obviously you don't want to get out there too far by yourself because you can get yourself in a pinch. But the 94 steps out in front of the 02, leaves the 77 of Pratt alone. Pileshi is able to give him a shot to kind of get him back up there, but the 94 to 77 switch spots. So now will the 77 push the 94 like the 94 pushed the 77? They were able to get out front in order for the 94 to jump up to that top line. That was kind of impressive. But the 02 of Tyler Hilton on that outside middle line, trying to stay side by side to not allow that to happen. Derek Paulson doing a good job in the 5 of keeping them up there.
2 laps to go here at Dega, and really it's still anyone's chance at winning here tonight. Maxwell Caldwell, Michael Pratt at the front, Tyler Hilton, Andrew Pileshi, Derek Paulson for your top 5, Blunt, Warnes, Dennis Warnes, Larson, Rainville, Gilrow for your top 10, but anything can still happen. I'm sure anything will happen here before this thing is over. If we get to the white flag, the next flag will end the race, and they're coming out of turn number 3 right now, down to the tri-oval one more time, side by side at the front. The 94 of Maxwell Caldwell just inches in front here at the line. One more lap to go. Can Caldwell go back-to-back here tonight after winning last week at Bristol? It'll be a heck of a feat to perform for sure. But Tyler Hilton looking to get his first win on the season. You know, he's going to be digging pretty hard there. Michael Pratt, it's been forever since we talked him in a podium, let alone at the top of the boards. He is right there in the mix as well. Andrew Pileshi, certainly a fan favorite, is up there in the mix in the top 5. The 5 of Derek Paulson up there as well, as it's getting sketchy. A wreck towards the back of the field. It's going to take out the back half of the field. But we still got to battle back to the line. A bit of a bobble by the 94. They head into the tri-oval one more time, side by side. The 94 gets turned. So does the 77, and the 02 is gonna be pushed sideways across the line. And again, Jimmy, I don't know who won. I mean, the 2 was gonna push by, I think, 3 cars sideways.
I can't stop laughing.
That was insane. And according to Iracing, it is going to be Tyler Hilton by 0.019 seconds over Robert Warnes here at the line, and we'll show it to you again. What an insane finish. And you're going to have to slow it down about 6 times just to see how crazy this was. And this is one thing where it's a benefit, certainly, of having 3 screens. I can watch him come into frame all the way on the right before you guys see him in the middle of the screen, but unbelievable finish here, and it usually is. But coming to the line, you see Barney up there waving that green flag, and
there it is.
Not quite there just yet, but yeah, it's sideways. It's a sideways win for Tyler Hilton, getting his first win of the season. Robert Warnes, Andrew Pileshi for your top 3, and I mean, I'm seeing it's the top 5 covered by less than 1/10 of a second. 0.19 back to Robert Warnes, 0.38 to Andrew Pileshi, 0.43 to Derek Paulson, 0.0 for all these, 0.090 to Mike Hasty in 5th. Heck of a finish here, and man, we had to wait 80 laps, but we got one heck of a bit of fireworks here at the end to finish this thing off.
Yeah, in the front, I mean, we'll go back and check the others out as well because the drivers were celebrating. But yeah, I see Pratt trying to defend and maybe try to look at that bottom, but getting maybe everybody trying to push to get into the win. But obviously the 2 making out as a guard. I mean, that's a one way to protect 3 lanes.
I mean, I heard a blocking, but this is ridiculous.
But earlier behind all that, we have to go back quite a ways. They were back in back here with Dalton Kilrow. Let's get a different camera. So before the start finish line, you can see there are all 3 wide. Dalton Kilrow looking to maybe push that fourth row. And does he come up just a little bit? Maybe a little bit. And him and the 00 get together, take out kill row. The 00. Merkel goes down on the inside. A 21 escapes. Also picks up Cade Green here for that rear incident. I think that was it. I think everybody else behind was still good to go. Yep, 76, 8, and the 4. So, but yeah, close one here. Very unique finish. I don't think I've seen one car block a whole field in one shot, but so the O2 makes the impossible possible.
I think the only thing we didn't see is if Tyler Hilton had his finger out the window to the entire field as they pushed him across the line.
Got this one, you suckers. But yeah, Tyler Hilton, Robert Warrens, Andrew Pleshy. I'll go ahead and put up I think the match tonight. So that we had the other night, they were wrong. But I think this will show everybody in the right spots here. So Tyler Hilton, Robert Warrens, Andrew Pleshy for your top 3. Is that what your iRacing has, Carl?
That's what I got. Yep.
Okay. Then the rest of the field, obviously, Derek Paulson, Mike Hasty, Dennis Warrens, Eric Blount, John Garrett, Ty Marasco, Brian Rainfield for your top 10. All within 2/10, these top 10. So then Hayden Wheeler, Chris Schuessler, Todd Merkel, Robert Kahn, Maxwell Caldwell, Michael Taylor, DJ Mitchell, Mike Rideout for your first 18 drivers as far as the finishing order goes. And then you have Michael Eden, Hemi Garadini, Cade Green, Gordon Larson, Fred Thompson, Dalton Kilroe, Len McNeese, Michael Pratt, Rick Thompson, Brandon Muir, Tim Lee, finishing 9 laps down 29th after leading the race here tonight. And then Hilton Young and bring up the rest of the field. So tough break for some, great finish for others, and a little bit of luck. And when your league's got your back, they just push you to the finish.
That's what it is, exactly. Well, we got our top 3 ready for some interviews here tonight, and certainly well-deserved. Once again, I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in tonight. Hit that like and subscribe to get in touch with everything CNC has to offer and help these guys get their product out there so they can get some more eyes on the series. They certainly deserve it. But we'll go ahead and start bringing in our top 3. And Jimmy, it's going to be the 3rd place here tonight, the 81 of Andrew Palesci getting it done.
Okay.
What's up, boys?
Andrew, you make your way back into the booth somehow. I ignored you all race. So I apologize, but I did bring you up a few times. I was like, we haven't talked about Andrew much, and all of a sudden the 81 finds himself up front. At the end, your tires sticking out of your fender. I'm like, he can't. There's no way. I'm like, I don't know how that 81 car is going to even get anywhere. He's going to need to be tucked up behind somebody. But did you really have to combine powers and push Tyler Hilton to a win with a few of your teammates? That was like a combined effort. You guys are so close.
I don't know what was going on.
You got to go back and watch the replay. That's crazy. He crossed sideways.
I'm looking at the final frame. I'm looking at the last frame as we come across the line, and I'm going to print that out and hang it on my wall. It's just pretty. But yeah, my car, like I said, I was driving an Indy car there. The thing was hanging out. And I was trying to do my best Cletus McFarland impression and just kind of get her wound up, keep her to the floor, and it was hanging. And I don't know. I don't know if the 94 got turned by the whoever. I don't even know that was in front of me. I don't know if he got turned. We kind of all stacked up there, and it's Talladega, baby. We're keeping her to the mat. We're trying to get across the line.
Yeah, we with a few of our admins in the core league, we were talking about how hard it is. We can know where everybody's at. When it comes to the final, at these, especially the super speedways, it's like my foot's just stuck on the floorboard.
Yeah.
So what happens. You just try to, shoot the gab, you hit the holes, and hopefully you walk away in a position. You win or you get on the podium by mere thousandths of a second. So anyways, congratulations. Obviously, you're kind of pumped up and excited, by a crazy finish. Is there anything else during the race that you would like to kind of bring to our attention, or how it was out there? Because 80 laps around Talladega is quite a good amount of time.
it felt like about 800. But yeah, I mean, it was a good race. There was a lot of fun battling going on and stuff like that. And there was a couple of things that kind of, could have been avoided, but you're going to have at any plate race. It just is what it is. There's not enough room. We're racing virtual cars over the internet. We're not going to be perfect. But you didn't really have much reason to talk about me. I kind of was just trying to bide my time and say a little gap.
I ignored you like most of the race.
Yeah. Well, the race kind of kept getting turned upside down like twice there. Like it was like, okay, we're gonna try to save fuel here and like eliminate a pit stop, and then a caution come out, and it's like, all right, we're good now. And then we get another caution, and it's like, oh shit, we're on the razor's edge and making it on one, and it just kind of flip flopped so many times there that like I didn't even know what. Like at one point I went up there and started digging, and that didn't end well. It never usually does. But yeah, it was just kind of like it was just typical Talladega, man. You never know. It's just all you can do is try to hope you're somewhere near the front at the end and try to. That's why I didn't pit at the end. I was like, I don't know if this thing's gonna hold on. I might screw everybody in this lane behind me, but damn it, I'm trying to fight for some points here.
I think that was kind of almost the first time I kind of brought your car up. I'm like, that doesn't look right.
Yeah,
tires sticking out there and having a good time. But anyways, Talladega's out of the way. Next week we're heading off to Chicagoland. So that's in a mere 7 short days. How you feeling about next week?
I like Chicagoland. Any mile and a half is a friend of me. And yeah, I was worried about Nashville, and we made it through there alive. So Chicago's good racing. This group is great everywhere we go, and I'm sure it'll be a good time. Hopefully I get to be the last one that talks to you next week. We're trying. I just can't see. I'm second and third in myself to death. I want you to.
We'll go 1 through 3 next week. We'll get you last.
Oh, okay.
We'll just reverse the order.
You do that for me. I appreciate it.
We can do what we want.
Hell yeah. I knew I liked you guys.
But anyways, great finish. It was very entertaining, especially right there at the end. Again, congratulations on squeaking one out here and getting to the booth. And wish you the best of luck on Chicagoland. But before we let you get out of here, we'll give you a little time for any shouts you might have in at 81.
Yeah, my team, Todd Merkel, Maxwell Caldwell. Todd was digging tonight. The dude ain't got the luck. If he had no bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck. And he was digging tonight. I really was hoping to see him get up front. So shout out to them guys. Tim and everybody that runs this league, all the admins, they do a great job. Of course, you guys up in the booth, you guys do a great job. I love watching the broadcast back. I love trying to get up here and bullshit with you. You know that. So, yeah, it was a good race. Hopefully many more after.
And definitely many more to remain as you guys. That was race number 9. So you're about at the halfway mark. You got a couple more races till you're there. Michigan will be your halfway mark, but the week following after Chicagoland. But again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Cool, boys. Nice talking to you. Hopefully I'll see you next week.
Later, Andrew.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 81 of Andrew Palesci, getting up there, and one of the pushers here across the line. The one that tried to duck out and kind of steal the win here tonight is the 95 of Robert Warren. And Robert, you started in the back, you made your way to the front, then you went to the back, to the front, went to the back, to the front, and it seemed like it was just a yo-yo back and forth, as Talladega sometimes does. But late in the race, you come out of the pits, you're nowhere close to the field, and all of a sudden the green flag drops. Did you feel like your race might have been ended right there, or were you just kind of confident another caution was going to come out and get you right back up there?
Well, on that last restart, what had happened was we were coming out of 4, and I started running below the yellow line because I lost connection. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm yelling to my brother and Chrissy Schuessler over columns, and I'm like, boys, like, race is over. We went 2 laps down. And as soon as it came back, the green had just came out, and I was like probably a couple car lengths off the 17 car. And I juiced it up, and we got to the line, and I moved up to pass him. He had some significant damage on the right side of his car, so I mean, he didn't go. What was I supposed to do? And then I don't know. It's just like I felt like Moses. I parted the sea and somehow caught up to the damn front. But it was a very frustrating race. Like I don't know if I should laugh or cry. Like, are you guys therapists? Like, how's this work?
Well, I mean, it was one last C at the end there that you couldn't see your way by. I mean, you guys, I think, were 3 wide, all pushing Tyler Hilton to the win on that one. You snuck out to the left, and it looked like, for a brief second there, I thought you might have had just enough to get on by him before the line. But I mean, talk to us about the finish. I mean, it's coming to the trioval at Talladega on the last lap, knowing that it's way past the trioval where you get to the start finish line. Anything can happen, and it seems like it always does.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Honestly, like super speedway is never like my type of racing, and I couldn't see a damn thing through the trioval, let alone coming out of turn 4. I know the 81 car started to drift up, and I was like, am I going to be that guy? Am I going to shove my nose there and turn them? Because like there was a hole there, and I didn't want to do that. So I kind of just waited, and then all of a sudden, like, just carnage happened. And then we were at the line, and I would have like drove around and stuff, but like that thing's got to go to the junkyard, so she done.
So I got to ask you, I mean, Tyler Hilton was sideways, and his driver's side window was pointing towards you guys coming to the line. Was there a finger out the window thinking that he got this thing wrapped up and showing you guys the bird as he goes across the finish?
I don't know if he was pumping, like flipping the bird saying bye bitches or whatever, but like, god damn, like honestly, like there was a bunch of cautions there. I wish it had settled down and we had some good racing. We did have some pockets, but that's not the type of finish I want to be a part of, to be honest.
Well, either way, your yo-yo race ends up towards the top, and you finish up here on the podium in second place here tonight. So good points day, good points finish, and anytime you can sneak out of Talladega with a top 5, let alone a podium, is just I'm sure like a breath of fresh air, and you can finally just relax your shoulders a little bit, knowing that you got this one out the way.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for going to back to an intermediate speedway at Chicagoland. I think we are next week.
Yes.
Yep.
And you're going to see things settle down because there's going to be tire degradation, and that'll make me happy because it's very important how you manage your tires in these cars.
Absolutely. Well, you managed your race pretty well, kinda, maybe, sorta.
I don't know. I lost time
here in second. I mean, I don't know what to say. It was just so up and down for you, just like it was about 30 of the 30 drivers out here tonight. But like I said, you get a second place here tonight, so congrats on that. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, shout out to Chrissy Two Shoes Schuessler. He finished 12th tonight, and my bro, he finished 6th, and myself, I'm happy with my P2. You guys at Zero End, I watch the broadcast in the morning, and sometimes I laugh and cry. This might be a little bit more of the cry than a laugh. And the admins at VVR, they do a great job here, and this one's going to be a tough one for them to watch and call back because there was just some crazy racing. And like I said, I just hope we're going to Chicagoland and having a good green race.
I mean, Dennis finished just outside the top 5, and I think he got more camera time than you here tonight, and even led some more laps than you did.
He got literally air time.
So I may have a little bit of bragging rights, even though you got the second place here. Well, either way, congrats to you and Dennis on some good finishes here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at Chicagoland.
Awesome. Enjoy your night, gentlemen.
You too, buddy. Second place finisher here tonight, the 95 of Robert Warrens. Last but not least, the guy that I still say he was flipping the bird out the window, sliding sideways across the line. Gonna be your winner here, the 02 of Tyler Hilton.
Tyler Hilton. That's Jimmy and Carlton Booth. You copy, buddy.
I've got y'all. Y'all got any Bayer aspirin for the heart attack I'm having?
I mean, we were out there. You were just like, you were showboating, man. You did it sideways, hanging the finger out the window at your league mates. As you've done the impossible. You have blocked 3 lanes of traffic in a matter of hundreds of seconds.
I mean, if you're going to have to hold a line, choose all of them, right?
It was definitely an interesting race. You guys kind of were battling back and forth. A few cautions here and there, but you had some good pockets of racing. You find yourself up front. Kind of give us a rundown of those final laps.
Yeah, I knew I had a strong car. I kind of worked my way up there. Had some trouble early, got caught in a couple accidents. Not making or anything, but I was kind of just taking it easy there, especially through the middle part of the race. Missed a few, got some track position, got up there, and then Paulson, he stuck with me and just a heck of a job pushing me there, and got me in the position that I need to go. And then, the rest is history from there. So,
it ended up being a very eventful finish, and I'm sure one that you can snap a photo, save the replay, show them it doesn't take much, and you can do it sideways to win these things.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm painting a mural on the side of my wall in my house with that. That was impressive.
It was a very close finish between a lot of cars, and you were the one holding them up, like you were the tiebreaker who could push what part of your car a little bit faster. So, but no, it was a very interesting finish. It was one for the books. You guys are working on about the halfway, almost to the halfway mark. Next week, you're off to Chicagoland to start just the crest of the hill of your season. So how are you feeling about the rest of the season, and obviously starting off with Chicagoland first?
I'm feeling good. We started the season kind of rough at Team Rev Sport, but we're working our way up, and I think I'm in the top 10 in points now. And then obviously this is going to help tonight and stuff with it. The last few races we've been kind of knocking off some top 10s right around 5th to 10th area on it. So we're making gains. Don't know if I got a lot for Kilroy and those guys right off, but we're going to keep plugging away at it and see where it goes. And I think we got a couple more wins up our belt.
There we go. Well, we look forward to seeing you back up here in the booth to get to talk to us. And we want to, obviously, for tonight, we want to say congratulations from CRN and everybody else out there. But to also give you a little bit of time for any shots on that O2 that you might have.
Definitely. Thanks to Team Rev Sport, Cade Green, John Garrett. First, I do want to dedicate this win tonight. Ann Crumpton, Cade's grandmother, she passed away in this past week. So this one's going to go out to her. I'm glad our team could pick up the victory for that. But yeah, Team Chevy, EPI, we use them quite a bit for some of the open stuff. This is fixed setup, but appreciate all that they do for that side of things. GBS, CIDP, Fort Worth, Athens, Screen Printing, Tim Lee, all the other admins, Hilton Crafts Design, Goldline Guardians, you guys, Core Racing Network. Hopefully we could bring y'all a great show tonight. I think at least me, I don't know, I'm still shaking. So.
I mean, you guys never fail on somewhere down the line throughout the race to put on some sort of interesting thing that me and Carl can latch onto. The ending was by far the obviously the final explosion of the race where something amazing happened. I just was sitting here giggling because it was funny. I've been there, I've been on this track, I've been in your shoes, working to try to get that win, and then you just feel your car you see the start finish line and you could feel the car just going. But the fact that it went across everybody that was trying to get around you, that you blocked them all off and stuck away with the win, is just amazing. So just fun. Like I said, we want to say congratulations, and hopefully we'll see you back up here. But we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family on the amazing finish here, and look forward to seeing you the rest of the season.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for all you do, Jimmy, Carl. We'll be back. All
right, Tyler, take it easy.
That is your winner here tonight, Sideways, the O2 of Tyler Hilton. I mean, you take a look at how this race went, and Talladega bit back. I mean, it was probably a little bit, you look back at the Core Xfinity Series, maybe a little bit easier because of the car on Tuesday night, where they just kind of stick to the track a little bit better. These ARCA cars were dancing a little bit here tonight, and you take a look at the incident points here tonight, and the average for the top 10, Jimmy, 15 and a half X's, 15 and a half incidents average for the top 10, and only 3 cars in the entire field finished with less than 10 incidents, and all 3 of them were at 8. So everyone got involved in a little bit of something here tonight, but just about everybody got into the side of Tyler Hilton and pushed him to the win here. So either way, it was a heck of a race. I want to thank once again our sponsors here for the series, Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We got Chicagoland coming up next week, and we'll see what they do out there in the Midwest. But for myself and Jimmy from the Talladega Super Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.